Dear learners, welcome to the new lecture of Engineering Chemistry e-lecture series. The topics to be covered in this video are municipal water supply, requisities of drinking water, and water purification. The municipal water supply includes sources, challenges, solution, and the main aim of municipal water supply. The requisities of drinking water includes physical requisities, chemical requisities, and the biological requisities of potable water. The water purification techniques includes screening, sedimentation with coagulation, filtration, and sterilization of water. So let us begin with the first topic, that is municipal water supply. So what is the municipal water? The municipal water is the water which we are using at domestic level, and the supply is carried out by the municipality. So the municipal water supply is the water supply management system that is carried out by the municipality of that particular area. Now question comes that what are the main sources of municipal water supply? We know that the municipal water supply, the main sources of municipal water supply are rivers, channels, and dams. These all sources are the open water sources, which means that this may contains large amount of impurities, which includes dissolved particles, soil, garbage, sewage, pesticides, and other chemical waste, and all these impurities make water unfit for the human consumption. So this is the main challenge of municipal water supply, that due to the presence of large amount of impurities in it, this water directly we can't use as for the drinking purpose. Now what is the solution for this? So the solution is the purification of water before it is used. So the municipal water supply two main important aims of municipal water supply are: they maintain the adequate supply of domestic water, so that the quantity of water is to be supplied is sufficient for the usage. Secondly, to ensure all the required specification of drinking water, that means to ensure the quality of drinking water. So this is all about the municipal water supply. So main sources are river, channel, and dams. And what is the main challenge? Main challenge is removal of impurities. What is the solution? Solution is the water purification. So these all includes in the municipal water supply management system. Now the solution is the purification of water, but before going to purification of water, we must know the requisities of drinking water. So let us discuss the various type of requisities of drinking water. First, the physical requisities. It should be clear, transparent, colorless, and odorless. Second, it should be pleasant in taste. Third, it should not possess high temperature, and it should be perfectly cool. Fourth, its turbidity should not exceed 10 ppm. These all are the physical requirements of the potable water or the drinking water. Now, chemical requisities. The pH of the drinking water should be in the range of 7 to 8. Secondly, it should be free from harmful impurities, minerals. The total hardness of drinking water should be less than 500 ppm. The TDS of the drinking water should be less than 500 ppm. The water which is to be used for the drinking purpose must be free from harmful dissolved gases like H2S. The fluoride content should be less than 1.5 ppm. Sulfate content should be less than 250 ppm, and the chloride content should be less than 250 ppm. So these are the chemical parameters required for the safe drinking water. Now the biological or biochemical requisities. The potable water should be free from disease causing bacteria. What is the potable water? Potable water is the water which is safe for drinking purposes. So it should be free from disease causing bacteria. E. coli must be under the permissible limit. And what is the permissible limit? That is 1 coliform per 100 ml. So it should not exceed to that limit. So these are the biochemical requisities of drinking water. Suppose the municipal water does not match with all these requirements. So what to do? Then water purification is next step before supplying the water. So let us begin with the purification of water. First question comes to our mind that what is the water purification? Water purification, the process of removing impurities from water and make it safe for drinking, is called the water purification. That means removal of all type of impurities from water is known as the purification of water. Various type of methods are used for water purification. The adopted method for purification of water depends upon the exact nature of impurities present in the water. That means which type of impurity is to be removed, then on the basis of that type of impurities we choose the water purification method. For example, the screening method is used for removal of the floating matter such as leaves, twigs, wood particles or plastic bags. The sedimentation technique is used to remove the suspended matter like sand, clay, etc. Sedimentation with coagulation process is used to remove fine suspended inorganic matters. Filtration process is used to remove colloidal impurities and some microorganisms. And the last one, sterilization or disinfection, is used to remove the bacteria or the microorganisms. So you must remember that water purification is the removal of impurities from water. It is not the removal of hardness of water. That is the water treatment process. Water purification is removal of these type of impurities from water. What these type of impurities? Floating impurities, suspended impurities, fine suspended impurities, colloidal impurities and microorganisms. So these type of impurity removal method is known as the water purification techniques. So now we are going to discuss each of these techniques one by one. First is the screening. Basically, the screening method is used to remove the floating materials like wood pieces, leaves, polythenes, etc. In this process, the raw water is passed through the large screen, and these large screens have large number of holes which remove the floating materials. Just we can see here the large floating particles are stuck to the one side of these screen one side of these screens, and the water can move to next chamber for next purification technique. So these are the bar screens used to remove the larger particles or the floating materials from the water. Second technique is the sedimentation process or sedimentation technique. Basically, the sedimentation process is used to remove the suspended impurities like sand, clay, etc. The suspended impurities are not dissolved in water. These are remain suspended in the water. So for this purpose, sedimentation tank is used and water is passed in this sedimentation tank through this here end. Now the water is allowed to settle undisturbed in this tank for the sufficient period of time so that all the suspended particles settle down and the bottom of this tank as the sludge, and the clear supernatant water is now we can remove from the outlet of this tank. So in this process, due to the gravitational force, the suspended particles are settled down at the bottom of the tank in the form of sludge, and sludge can be easily removed by the sludge outlet here. So the sedimentation process is used to remove the sand and clay-like suspended impurities. Now, third one is the sedimentation with coagulation. Sedimentation with coagulation is used to remove the fine suspended impurities. That means for these type of impurities for which the size of the particle is comparatively smaller. For this, we can use sedimentation with coagulation techniques. Generally, for this purpose, we are adding the coagulants in the water tank, sedimentation tank. When these coagulants added to the water, these coagulants form insoluble gelatinous precipitate like this, and this insoluble gelatinous precipitates entrap very fine suspended particles forming bigger size agglomerates like this, which settle down as the form of the sludge. So basically, what is the role of coagulant here? Actually, the coagulant entrap the fine suspended particles. Due to the very fine size, these particles cannot settle down separately by their own weight. So by the use of coagulants, the coagulant actually helps to agglomerate these fine suspended particles. So now the size of these suspended particles becomes larger, and due to the large size, these can settle down fastly at the bottom in the form of the sludge. So this is the role of coagulant here. These coagulant helps to the fine suspended impurities to coagulate them or to agglomerate. That is why these can help to faster settle down to these fine suspended impurities. Mainly, three types of coagulants are generally used for water purification. First is alum, which is commonly known as Fitcurry. Second is sodium aluminate. Third is ferrous sulfate. The chemical formula of alum is potassium sulfate, aluminum sulfate, 24H2O. Basically, this alum forms aluminium hydroxide, AlOH thrice. And this aluminium hydroxide actually is a gelatinous PPT, and this gelatinous PPT entrapped all the fine suspended impurities and helps these fine suspended impurities to settle down at the bottom of the tank. When we dissolve the alum in the water, it actually reacts with the alkalinity present in the water. Here, the calcium bicarbonate is the alkaline substance which is present in the water. So when alum is added to the water, it reacts with the alkalinity present in the water and form the aluminium hydroxide. And this aluminium hydroxide actually acts as a coagulant which removes the finely divided particles by neutralizing them as well as by absorbing them from heavier flocks which settle down. So basically, alum or Fitcurry is effective in the alkaline water. Second coagulant is sodium aluminate, NaAlO2. It used in the acidic water. When we dissolve sodium metaaluminate or sodium aluminate, it reacts with the water and liberates the aluminium hydroxide, and this aluminium hydroxide acts as the coagulant in the water and helps the fine suspended impurities to settle down faster. Third type of coagulant is ferrous sulfate. It is used in this slightly alkaline water. This ferrous sulfate reacts with the alkalinity present in the water. For example, here the magnesium bicarbonate, and forms the ferrous hydroxide. And this gelatinous ferrous hydroxide act as the coagulant which entrap the fine suspended particles and helps to settle down quickly. So in this way, all the coagulant react and faster the rate of the sedimentation of the fine suspended particles. Now, the next water purification process is the filtration process. This is the diagram of the sand filter. The filtration is the process of removing insoluble, colloidal, bacterial and microorganism impurities from water by means of these type of filters. The filters used in water filtration consist of different sizes and different layers. For example, here is the example of the sand filter. The sand filter consists of the tank with the top layer of the fine sand, then coarse sand, then gravels. During filtration, the sand pores get clogged, but obvious due to the entrapment of the impurities in between the pores. That is why pores are clogged, and due to the retention of these impurities in this process, the pores are clogged. So we can we can change these soil layers for the regeneration of the filter. So when we pass the water through the filter, the water gets down from upwards in this way, and all the impurities, colloidal impurities, microorganisms are clogged in between the soil particles, and the water free from these impurities can be collected from the bottom of this tank. So this is the filtration process. Now the next water purification is the sterilization. The process of destroying pathogenic bacteria and microorganisms is known as the sterilization or disinfection. So basically this disinfection method is the removal of harmful bacteria from the water. The chemicals and the substances used for this purpose is called as the disinfectants or the sterilizers. The various methods used for sterilization are boiling, addition of bleaching powder, chlorination and disinfection by ozone. Boiling. In general, 10 to 15 minutes boiling of water kills all the pathogenic bacteria, but we know that it is not feasible process for municipal water supply because very huge quantity is to be supplied at municipal level. So boiling of this large quantity of water is practically not feasible at this level. So boiling cannot be carried out at the municipal level, but it is one of the method for killing the bacteria from the water. Now second one is the addition of the bleaching powder. Bleaching powder is the calcium oxychloride, this CaOCl2. In general, 1 kilogram bleaching powder is added in 1000 kiloliters of water for its disinfection. Actually, when bleaching powder is added to water, it releases calcium hydroxide and chlorine. And this chlorine now reacts with water and generate hypochlorous acid and hydrochloric acid. Furthermore, this hypochlorous acid generates nascent oxygen in the water, and among all these products, these hypochlorous acid and nascent oxygen act as a powerful oxidizing agent which kills the bacteria. So the germicidal action of bleaching powder is due to the presence of HOCl, hypochlorous acid, and the nascent oxygen in the water, which actually kills the cell wall of the bacteria, hence the bacteria is killed. But the main disadvantage of bleaching powder addition is it introduces the calcium hardness. We can see here it generates calcium hydroxide in the water, and due to which calcium hardness increases in the water. Second one is the excess amount of bleaching powder can cause bad taste and smell in the water. So these are the disadvantages of the addition of bleaching powder for disinfection of water. Third important method for disinfection is the chlorination. What is chlorination? Addition of chlorine in water for its disinfection is known as the chlorination. For this purpose, the apparatus used is called the chlorinator. So, chlorine is most commonly used disinfectant in municipal water supply. When we add chlorine in water, it produces hypochlorous acid and the nascent oxygen. And both of these, hypochlorous acid and nascent oxygen actually kills the bacteria present in the water, and this chlorination is carried out in the apparatus which is known as the chlorinator. Basically, this chlorinator is a large tower containing number of baffle plates. These are the baffle plates. From its top, raw water and chlorine solution are introduced. From here, raw water and the chlorine solution are introduced, where they are thoroughly mixed in the tower, and for filtered water, in general, about 0.3 to 0.5 ppm chlorine is sufficient for complete disinfection. The disinfected water can be taken from the bottom of this tank. So in this way, by chlorination, we can purify the water. The main advantage of this chlorination is that it does not introduces any type of calcium hardness in the water, and chlorine is easily available. It is cheap as compared to other method, but it also has the disadvantages that it is less effective in the acidic water, and its excess amount may cause unpleasant taste and smell of the water. But it is in general a very widely accepted method for disinfection of municipal water. And the next method for disinfection of water is disinfection by ozone. Ozone is very powerful disinfectant. It is highly unstable and break down into the oxygen and the nascent oxygen. And this nascent oxygen kills the bacteria present in the water. The disinfection of water by ozone is carried out in the ozone sterilizer. In this, ozone gas is bubbled through the water, and the sterilized water is removed from the top of the outlet. From here, the sterilized water can be removed. So this is the water sterilization by using the ozone. So all these methods are used for the water disinfection. Now this time for the learning check. The question displayed on your screen. Please read that question and think for the correct answer. Which of the following statements is true about the process of chlorination in water? A. Chlorination is used to soften water by removing calcium and magnesium ions. B. Chlorination is a method to control the turbidity of water. C. Chlorination is effective in removing dissolved inorganic impurities from water. And D. Chlorination is used to disinfect water by eliminating harmful microorganisms. Yes, you are right. Option D is the correct option. That is, chlorination is used to disinfect water by eliminating harmful microorganisms. Right? So that's all for today's video. To unlock more awesome content, you can hit the like button and subscribe my channel. Thank you so much for being patient. Thank you.